Okay, I will go ahead and call to order the August meeting of the Plan Review Committee. So Tammy, to get us started, would you call the roll?
Sure. Let's see. Gary Pittsford is absent. Jeff Morris.
Here.
Scott Barris.
Here.
Julie Thomas. Here. David Bush. Not here yet. Travis Dixon.
Here.
David Jenner.
Here.
And you said Dave Bush is online. Dave, do you have access to your mic, camera? You want to say present? Oh, wait, let's see. I'm going to allow you to speak. What's the best way to do that?
You need to make him more than a participant.
You see them, that's not my street, but yeah, really be good.
All right.
I had a tree fall, backyard.
Dave, I think you should be able to.
Generator, it's my program.
I just did it.
Okay, I think we should be able to.
All across the street, because it's such a big.
Well, that's just Oval Road anyway.
Across the street. Right now.
Okay, Dave, are you able to unmute and turn your camera on?
Still muted.
Apparently, it's a fault line.
Well, Dave, we're going to probably continue the meeting, and when it does come time for a vote, if there's a vote at this meeting, we would need you to turn on camera, which, I think you just were able to do. I see you now. Oh,
Can you
and I
hear me?
Yep,
Yay.
all right.
All right, great, thank you.
Present.
I'll mute temporarily.
Thank you, Dave. So we have no administrative business tonight, no old business, so we'll jump right into new business. The only item is PUO-24-3. So Ann, I will turn it over to you.
Thanks, Jeff. So this is an existing PUD called Cedar Chase. This is an outline plan amendment number 1 request. This is located off of Red Rock Drive in Van Buren Township, Section 3. So this is currently platted in Cedar Chase Subdivision Phase 2, Section 2. So the petition site is 0.23 acres. Its address is 4132 West Red Rock Road. It is lot 15 within the subdivision. So the PUD was created in 1995 by the city of Bloomington and was developed in stages, with the petition site being platted in 2001. So the amendment stems because the outline plan and the plat have a 50-foot, what is titled as or referred to as a PUD buffer within the outline plan amendment, within the outline plan and on the plat. So the petitioner is requesting this amendment to reduce the buffer from 50 feet to 25 feet. The buffer was created and its intent was to create a natural preservation area for existing vegetation, buffering against encroachment towards the northern property, and discourage trespassing from the subdivision into the northern property. So I'm going to jump and at least show us the site here. So using Elevate GIS, here we are in Van Buren Township. So this is located off of Leonard Springs Road. This lot 15 is located on the northern side. So this PUD buffer applies to properties along the northern side of the PUD. So the buffer spans multiple subdivision phases, but our petition site, we are only looking at 4132. So the buffer applies to all of these homes, and it pretty much the building line that you can see where the homes were originally built is right at 50 feet. Going back to our report, I'm going to jump to Exhibit 3, which is just outline. Okay. So this outline plan request has stemmed from an enforcement issue. So in 2022, the petitioner had submitted a building permit application R22-265 for a proposed 14 by 17 addition, and it was to be located fully within the buffer. The zoning inspector at the time communicated that the location was considered non-buildable. And through some back and forth and working with planner Drew Myers at the time in 2022, it was outlined that they could pursue an outline plan amendment to reduce that buffer. The building permit was placed on hold and no communication was received from the petitioner. You can see kind of that correspondence under the building permit through OpenGov in Exhibit 6. In May of 2024, during the review of a non-related permit, but also located on West Red Rock Drive, planning staff discovered that the petitioner had built the addition without permits. So planning staff opened a complaint 24-41 and an enforcement case AC 24-8 was opened. The petitioner was contacted in May, which you can see in Exhibit 4, the enforcement letter, and the petitioner's representative, Hannah England PC, which is online, was contacted with planning staff, and we've been working towards compliance since then. So if the request is approved, the outline plan amendment would reduce the 50-foot PUD buffer to 25 feet for lot 15 only. Because the buffer is listed within the PUD ordinance and then the subsequent recorded plat from 2021, the first step towards compliance would be amending the outline plan. And if approved, ultimately by the county commissioners, the petitioner's property owners could then continue on to do a plat amendment to also reduce it on the subdivision plat. Staff did recommend that the petitioner contact adjacent property owners who also are affected by this 50-foot buffer for inclusion possibly within this petition. Upon filing, this petition request is only for lot 15.
While you have that open, can I ask a quick question?
Yes.
Are they in compliance with the side yard setback?
Yes, they are.
Thank you.
So using aerial imagery, even going back to the early 2000s, we don't really, there is vegetation along here. This property up here in the north was a working farm at the time and has since converted to a single family residential use with maybe some ag, as we could maybe see some hay or something like that. But it's pretty much switched. This area has pretty much always been without vegetation here. There are some not affecting the site. There are some sinkholes with some other easements in other areas. But looking through the outline plan, looking through the staff report and the minutes from when the PUD was adopted, 50-foot buffer was really about buffering from the northern properties from the adjacent northern properties. So it's such a minor change to the outline plan amendment that we really still see compatibility with the Monroe County Comprehensive Plan. Going back to the report. So it is located within the Monroe County urbanizing area. It's located as suburban residential, and then which is low density, single family subdivisions with fairly good infrastructure. They request sidewalks, things like that. For the most part, the way that this property has already been developed, it meets the majority of the comprehensive plan. I don't think I found any points in here that the current development doesn't meet. And then under the Monroe County urbanizing area phase 2 plan, the area is identified as neighborhood development, which again is fairly consistent with how the rest of the PUD has already been developed. So this is plan review committee specifically looks at the comprehensive plan. Staff does recommend a positive recommendation to the plan commission. And then I have a spelling error here due to its compatibility, not incompatibility, due to its compatibility with the Monroe County Comprehensive Plan. Does anybody have questions? Of crowd.
No questions, but I have a comment that I
Yes.
feel compelled to speak to, and that is that it concerns me to set the precedent that we would change a setback because somebody did something that's not in compliance. And then it's getting the rules changed to accommodate it.
Just happen very often.
For a full PUD outline plan amendment? No. this type of scenario, yes, but not for a full PUD outline plan. I was hoping to see other properties that are also affected by this, because we have seen other properties, so we want to do an addition, and their current house is built right at 50 feet. There is just no possible route for them.
At one point, this was a compliance issue. They went ahead and did something anyway, and you all discovered it at some point, and there was no consequence whatsoever, correct?
This is the
This is the
consequence.
consequence.
Consequences
To go
are-
through this and do a final plat amendment. This is.
Yeah, but the consequences are cleaning up. They're going to
If
clean
it,
up after
if
the fact.
it fails, they'll have to move the shed.
No, it's an addition to the house.
Oh, it's an addition.
No, it's an
to the house.
addition.
There's a
I thought it was
picture.
a shed.
The shed is
Okay, how about
under
this?
120 square feet.
Ah.
We kind of aren't.
Oh, it's the addition.
This is the property in
Ah,
2022.
Thank you. Oh
So-
my
This is the
God.
property in 2024.
Jeez.
So what
So-
do you do if you don't approve it?
So for any enforcement, we work towards compliance first.
Oh my God.
If compliance cannot be reached, including the change of a full PUD outline plan, the structure will continue on through enforcement, which will mean removing the portion of the structure that's prohibited by PUD.
Oh,
That's why I brought it up.
it's terrible. Why did I get into my head that it was the shed? And I was like, God.
It's
Oh,
a glorified setback variance, but we can't do variances to
Right.
PUDs.
Right.
Right, so it has to be an outline plan amendment,
Right.
which takes 2.5, 3 months.
I'm gonna say it this way, I don't wanna ever reward bad behavior. I agree with Jeff, I don't ever wanna, but the only thing we're looking at here is not rewarding bad behavior, it's whether or not it complies with the current CDO and the current, and that's the only thing we're here to consider. So my answer here is may or may not be the same as it will be elsewhere, but. So we have not heard anything from the northern neighbor.
No. There's,
Okay.
other than buffering, there was little information really as to why they wanted and needed this. There are other areas where it's justified. You can see there's karst protection.
Dave has his hand raised.
Yes, Dave?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. I know Ann mentioned earlier that in her report and also in the narrative that there was a recommendation made for the property owner to reach out to the adjacent property owners and see if there was any other traction toward amending this or moving this buffer or solving this problem in some way. Do you know that was there ever any contact made to anybody else? Was there a good faith effort made?
On the petitioner's part, I don't
Yeah.
know. I have the other person who is actively looking into an expansion of the structure. They both, the petitioner and them, agreed to share information, so they do have each other's info. I don't know whether they actually spoke. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So, as I look at these charts and I realize you say looking north. So north is the top of the page, correct?
Mhm.
So true north is that way. Okay, the 50 feet begins from the pink line to the back of the house, correct?
So this is an approximation of the parcel boundary.
Well, where-
It's not
show-
exact. 50 feet is basically right at the edge of
Okay,
the
that-
home.
I'm just,
It's, you know that GIS is never exact.
I'm just saying that that's the 50 feet. And so that little addition there, if I go to the backside of the addition going north, that's within 25 feet to the pink line. If I'm
We would
reading,
have, yes, it
if
would.
I'm reading that picture right.
Yeah, there's a.
I saw the drawings, I just want to see it on the picture itself. So if you were not to, if this did not go forward with a favorable recommendation, and let's say it goes to the plan commission and it goes up to the commissioners, what's the result?
They have to remove part of the structure that's
They can
within the
actually-
50-foot buffer.
They
Yes.
actually have to remove the backside of that.
Yes. Mhm.
Have we done that before?
Yes.
I'm just, this is education for me.
We have with, I don't remember, most recently garage that was,
We got one shed, or it was a kind of a metal pole barn that was put in a front yard.
yeah.
It was a pretty hefty fine, and then eventually they put it in the
There
backyard.
was part of the house that went to Will Stouders, but that was a BZA.
Mm-hmm.
And it's at the owner's expense,
And sometimes legal fees if
legal fees
if
and all
that
sorts of other
starts
stuff.
to happen, if there's not.
Which considering that, sorry,
I mean, we don't go for legal fees unless the people aren't willing to comply and like, work with us. And then
I'm very concerned about the compliance piece, and I will bring that up from meeting to meeting as appropriate. Because I don't think people should be getting away with things they're getting away with. Right?
God, this is terrible.
I know it's easier said than done, but,
It's terrible.
all right, so now I have any questions.
But our only question today is,
Right.
does it comply with
Yeah, it does.
the plan?
So in the second paragraph is really kind of some of the background information that we were able to pull about why the 50-foot buffer exists for the one property, and it's not too much.
It is its own zoning ordinance. That's the other thing that bothers me is we're applying the plan documents to something that's already been zoned by a planned unit development, zoning, and subdivision ordinance. So I don't know if that fits.
you're saying the comprehensive
Yeah,
plan.
yeah, how do you,
Part of it was a PUD component, I think, in the packet. There was a PUD component,
The findings of fact for a PUD outline plan.
not the comprehensive plan.
you see my question? Because if I were to look at a zoning map, I would expect to see this whole neighborhood zoned PUD. So that automatically kicks it out of the comp plan, the urbanizing area plan, and everything else. Because those are already zoned and the legislation's already passed. So how do we apply?
It's still got a designation of within the comprehensive plan.
Right.
It's still got, I don't know, like an overlay
Right.
of how we should visualize that area
Mm-hmm.
in relation to the rest of the
Right.
county.
Right. I hear that. But you see my
Yeah,
quandary.
it doesn't apply in this situation because it was the city of Bloomington, they were
Right.
with their own comprehensive plan, but in a
That's
PUD
true.
that we create, we would also be influenced by our, so I mean,
Of
it
course.
still has a standing.
Of course, yeah, that makes sense.
So what other course of action do you have other than to forward it with a positive recommendation based upon
We,
fact?
we could forward it with no recommendation.
Well, that's what I mean.
Okay. We could forward it with a no as a recommendation. We can forward it as a yes, or we can forward it with no recommendation. Those are our three choices.
Suggest no recommendation.
Is that a motion?
I have a motion. I don't know how you phrase it. For,
So what basis, just let me understand this. So the question is, does it include with the comprehensive plan, right? I mean, that's what we're here to do. And so does it do that? And it seems to line up with it, even though it doesn't line up with the current PUD that's there, right? Is that what we're saying? So as far as, I mean, my opinion is we go with a positive recommendation, but then when it gets before the planning commission, then they're going to have to deal with it from a different aspect, right?
It's a different question.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
That's a valid point. Yes.
Just to clarify, no one spoke with the property owner to the north, right? Where this
They would have.
used to be a farm or whatever, and
They will be if they haven't already, they will be notified by certified mail. So we advertise the first public hearing So the first public hearing will be before the Plan Commission on this month.
Yeah, is that September?
That's the 24th, that's the other date.
It's the admin meeting.
No, not
No,
admin,
because
it's
we don't have
regular.
an admin meeting.
Yes, we don't,
Right.
got the CDO dates burned in my head,
Yes.
but not the other.
I'm with
I'm
you.
gonna open it up.
Great question. Wait, I have it right in front of me, September 26th. Preliminary hearing, Plan Commission regular session, September 26th. The petitioner will have 15 minutes to speak, and there will be public comment from adjacent property owners or whoever's interested.
And adjacent property owners will be notified in advance of that meeting, so they can attend. We've also seen this resolved in other ways with, for example, the property owner to the north could sell some additional land to, no, because they still have to do a plan
You
unit.
have to
We
do
still-
PUD.
But they could still do that and then that buffer would be 50 feet. We'd still have to go through this process, but they wouldn't have to tear the back off the house.
That regulation only applies to where it's zoned PUD. So even if they acquired more land, the more land wouldn't be zoned
Well,
PUD.
But we would have to hear that as, yeah. We'd still have to have a petition to do that, but it would at least.
You would still need
because
to
then
remove-
the person who's losing that buffer at least gains something through that process of, because we would have to adjust the PUD. We'd have to open up PUD and change the parameters of it and change the boundary. I mean, it'd be the same kind of thing we're doing here anyway. It's still a hearing, but
Which is kind of why I was hoping there'd be, if there were other property owners
Yeah.
that they could be involved. But
because they would say, oh, I want to do the same thing.
somebody, I want to expand.
Boy,
my
that
deck.
property owner to the north is not going to be happy if you go ahead and invite, 6 others to come and do the same thing. But but it's all public information. I'm not, it's.
Yeah.
Could you pull up the GIS picture one more time?
This one?
Either way, you still have to have a hearing.
Right, that's just.
Okay, and they're the blue.
I know.
Yes.
Okay, so it's like out of line. Okay. I'm trying to picture in my mind, they have had an opportunity to see this construction and didn't say anything about it on the one hand. On the other hand, it's covered up by trees and doesn't. Okay. Doesn't really solve anything, how it.
Just out of curiosity, maybe it's out of this
How do
realm.
you stop it?
So what happens if the other property owner comes in and says they don't care? I mean, the north property owner, they say, set the buffer at 25 foot or whatever.
Right, during the public hearing or during the plan commission meeting, anybody can come and speak for or against or submit letters of support.
Sure.
Or however they want it, and that is weighed as evidence when the plan commission gives a recommendation.
Or they can be silent, which is still an assent, without getting the green light. That's still
To me, this is.
a no comment is a positive,
To me, this is an issue of cleaning up broken glass. That's what this is. I don't know how else to say it. And so, if you want my input before a motion, I support a no vote, or not a no vote, but a vote at all.
I can share for our new members too why I would support
Yeah.
that. I think
Yeah.
Thank you.
my opinion is if we forward with a positive recommendation, because it does appear to comply with the comprehensive plan, I think that sends a different message to the plan commission when they see a yes recommendation. I think it will spark more questions with the plan commission if they see no recommendation. And I think it'll lead to further conversation. So that's why I would support no recommendation.
And I want further comment, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm suggesting for comment.
Now, the other, at least we have a fourth option, which is not to vote at all, which we've done before, which we've put out questions and we've made our comments and they're part of the record, but we don't even vote on any of it. And we just kind of throw it back at the plan commission and let them deal with it. So that's the fourth option I didn't even mention.
So Mr. Ferris, do you still want to make a motion?
My motion is for a, what's the category? No vote at all?
No recommendation.
No recommendation. My motion is a no recommendation on whatever this request is.
I put my glasses on.
Cedar Chase PUD Outline Plan Amendment 1.
I would second that.
All right, so we have a first and a second. I will go ahead and call the roll. Jeff Morris,
Yes.
Scott Ferris,
Yes.
Julie Thomas.
Yes.
David Bush,
Yes.
Travis Thixton.
Yes.
And David Jenner.
Yes.
That motion carries, let's see if that's six.
Unanimously. There you go. You say unanimously.
That was our only agenda item tonight. So do we have a motion for adjournment?
Motion.
Thank you all.
Look at all that reading you have to do.
Well, I was